When you visit Tokyo, it might not seem that big when you visit Shinjuku, Shibuya, Harajuku, and other famous areas. But then when you want to move to Tokyo and choosing where to live, Tokyo seems to have expanded. There are more neighborhoods and more areas than you had imagined. Don't worry, to help you figure out where to live in Tokyo, here are the 10 best neighborhoods to help give you an idea of where to look. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and press the bell notification to stay tuned with all the content about Japan. Okay, the first place is MUSASHI KOYAMA. MUSASHI KOYAMA is a great place to live in Tokyo. The Tokyo-Meguro line, a famous train line for having stops like Shibuya and Yokohama, stops at MUSASHI KOYAMA Station. The Meguro line is connected directly to the Tokyo Metro Namboku line and the Toei Mita line, so you can access office areas like Nakatacho Station and Otemachi Station with just one line. When you get to Meguro Station, you can also connect to the JR line like Yamanote line, where you can then reach Shibuya Station in about 15 minutes, Shinjuku Station in about 25 minutes, and many other major stations in Tokyo within 30 minutes. Redevelopment is happening in front of MUSASHI KOYAMA Station, and in 2019, a complex facility mall opened. This is a place where you can quickly grab a drink or hang out in. It's also conveniently located just outside the main shopping district. There is a huge variety of places here like restaurants, cafes, banks, and drugstores in the building, and you can find everything you need for your daily life here. A lot of people who live in MUSASHI KOYAMA are attracted to the vibrant shopping district, which is a few minutes from the station. Palm Shopping Street is a covered shopping street with around 250 shops from restaurants to local businesses. It's also the longest arcade town in Tokyo, and is also a place where you can enjoy shopping without getting wet even in the rain. Okay, the second neighborhood for you is NAKAMEGURO. NAKAMEGURO is another great place to live in Tokyo. Here you can access the Tokyo Metro Hibiya line and the Tokyo Toroko line. If you see the Tokyo Toroko line, you can also access Shibuya Station and even Yokohama Station without any changes, which is super convenient not only because it's simple to remember, but also for commuting. A lot of people like the fact that there are a lot of fashionable shops in NAKAMEGURO. One place in particular where you can find a bunch of these stores is just under the train tracks and around the area. There are also cool bars and cafes around the station, and a lot of people come and visit this area, especially during the weekend. In spring, you can enjoy the cherry blossoms in full bloom all along Meguro River. It's a famous spot that is crowded with a lot of people on weekends, but if you live in the area, you can also enjoy it on weekdays or in the morning when there are less people. NAKAMEGURO is a great place where you can enjoy the beautiful nature while living in the city and not being too overwhelmed by the towering skyscrapers. Okay, next up on the list is KOENJI. KOENJI is a great neighborhood to live in Tokyo, and it takes about 6 minutes to get here from Shinjuku Station and about 25 minutes to get to Tokyo Station. It's very convenient for commuting to work or school. It's also very good access to not only go to Tokyo but also go to Chiba. KOENJI is also famous for the subculture town. Second-hand clothing stores and live houses are gathered in front of the station, giving off a unique and retro atmosphere. It has a quirky atmosphere, and there are plenty of izakayas and bars here. There is a lively street with around 200 stores at the north exit of the station where you can buy fresh produce and cooking ingredients at really low prices. At the south exit of the station, there's the popular PAL shopping street with an arcade. Here you can find a long line of vintage fashion stores where you can find retro clothing for a good price. Then we've got KOMAZAWA University. KOMAZAWA DAIGAKU Station is not only for university students to live in. It is on the Den-Toshi line, and you can access Shibuya Station and Futako Tamagawa Station from here. There are many shopping spots around this area. The next station from here, SANGENJAYA Station, is a great hangout spot, so if you want to get out of your area without going too far, taking one stop will give you lots of options. Since the Den-Toshi line is directly connected to the Tokyo Metro Hanzomon line, you can go to office districts like Otemachi Station and Jinpocho Station with just one line. Because Komazawa University is nearby, there are also plenty of restaurants for students in front of the station. There are many places here that offer cheap yet good food, and there are also many shops that do takeout. On top of all of this, there's Komazawa Olympic Park, which is about 15 minutes walk from the station. It's a large park and it's a great escape from the big city. You can exercise here while being surrounded by the beautiful greenery in the park. Speaking of which, we've got SANGENJAYA. Introduced briefly in the previous place, SANGENJAYA is a great place to live in. It is on the Den-Toshi line and is only one stop away from Shibuya if you take the express train, or 2 stops on the local line. It is also located near Shimokitazawa, and you can access easily by bike or bus. Shimokitazawa is a very popular location known for its thrift stores and also unique atmosphere. Along with Shimokitazawa, you'll be able to explore many other locations that are conveniently accessible from SANGENJAYA. There are many restaurants in front of the station and around the area, and many of them have been featured in magazines and also TV. Besides restaurants, there are also a lot of bars in the area. Although it has a bit of a high-class image, it is easy to live in because of the large supermarkets and stores available to you. Now let's talk about Nakano. Nakano Station is an area where rent is relatively cheap, especially for Tokyo. It's a convenient location to be able to go to major stations in Tokyo like Shinjuku and Tokyo Station without changing trains. It has excellent access not only in Tokyo but also towards the Chiba area. In front of the station, there's Nakano Sanmo Shopping Street where a lot of local businesses are gathered. There's also Nakano Marui, which offers a lot of different modern shops. A particular famous spot here is Nakano Broadway, a shopping center known especially among anime and pop culture fans. It's fun to browse around the quirky stores and be surrounded by the nostalgic atmosphere. With all the different restaurants, izakayas and bars around the station, it is very lively at night. A quieter residential area spreads out a little bit away from the station, and there are also convenience shops like Gyomu Supa, business supermarkets where you can buy ingredients at low prices. A lot of students and new employees choose to live here. Then we've got Shimokitazawa. I talked about Shimokitazawa a little bit earlier, but it's a really unique town with a lot of used clothing and general stores. It's a city where different cultures are mixed, with small theaters and live houses gathering together. If you're a foodie, you would enjoy exploring in Shimokitazawa. There are a lot of restaurants around the station. The Keio Inokashira line and the Odakyu Odawara line run through Shimokitazawa station. It's also a convenient place to reach Shibuya station on the Inokashira line in just 5 minutes, or in 10 minutes you get to Shinjuku station on the Odakyu line. The commercial facility Shimokita Ekiue is newly opened here. Based on the concept of a place where everyone can get together every day, there are 16 unique stores here, making it a great place for people to hang out. Shimokitazawa, also known as Shimokita, is a fun city that evolves every day while preserving the subculture of young people. Okay, next on the list we've got Ikebukuro. Ikebukuro Station is one of the busiest stations in the whole entire world, and it has excellent access to different parts of Tokyo. Since it's located on the north side of Tokyo, it's also really easy to get to Saitama from here. The advantage of Ikebukuro Station is that there are many large commercial facilities close to the station. One famous mall is Sunshine City, which houses a planetarium and also an aquarium. There are many themed cafes, famous ramen shops, izakayas, and bars around the station, so you can take your time and truly explore. There's so many different kinds of entertainment in this area. Ikebukuro has been known to have an image of poor security, but in the recent years, Toshima Ward announced that they would redevelop the Nishiguchi Park in order to dispel this negative image. Nishiguchi Park, which was once a setting for the drama Ikebukuro Westgate Park, had a bad image and was recently reborn as an open-air theater. Okay, another great neighborhood in Tokyo is JIYUGAOKA. JIYUGAOKA is a city with a fashionable atmosphere with a lot of sophisticated shops. Besides the general store and clothing stores here, there are also a lot of shops like cafes and also sweets shops that are introduced in magazines. In front of the station, there are a lot of shops ranging from fashionable stores to food stores. At the north exit of the station, there are also a lot of friendly izakayas for people to visit. Even though different areas of JIYUGAOKA have the high-end atmosphere, there are also a few retro spots around the area. One great place to check out is JIYUGAOKA Depot in front of the station. This building has about 100 shops, from the latest items to the nostalgic goods in different genres like fashion, beauty, life, gourmet, and culture, from B1 to the 4th floor. Besides this store, you can also find Todoroki Reven Park nearby. It's the only valley in the 23 wards of Tokyo, and because this place doesn't get very popular, you can truly indulge in the peaceful and beautiful scenery. The Tokyo Toroka line and the Tokyo Oimachi line run through JIYUGAOKA station, and you can get to Shibuya and even Yokohama without changing trains. It is convenient not only for commuting to work and school, but also for going out on a day trip. Alright, the next place I want to tell you about is OGIKUBO. OGIKUBO is on the JR Chuo line and the Tokyo Metro Marunouchi line, and you can easily get to Shinjuku from here. There are also main roads and highways like Ome Kaido and Kampachidori, so it's convenient for people who travel by car. OGIKUBO Station is famous as a gourmet town with a huge amount of restaurants in the area. You can find all kinds of famous shops as well as local spots here. Nakadori Shopping Street at the south exit of the station is a convenient place where you can find all the everyday items you would need. Just nearby, you can also visit visit Nishi Ogikubo and Kichijoji for more activities and entertainment. Although it is a lively city, Ogikubo's charm is that it has a cozy atmosphere. Just a small walk away from the station, you'll be able to find all kinds of interesting shops and restaurants, quiet parks, and nature spots. Choosing a place to live in Tokyo can be a difficult task, but I hope that this video is able to give you some insight into this big city and some of the best places to live in. What is considered best depends on your preferences, so take your time and refer back to this video to see which neighborhood calls out to you the most and which is the best neighborhood to live in Tokyo for you. If you want to find out more about different neighborhoods as well as different cities around Japan, make sure to check out the description box down below. We've got more videos about moving to Japan, living in Japan, Japanese culture, and more coming your way, so make sure to subscribe and press the bell notification. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the